Welcome everybody, bienvenidos. This is the Water Technologies pilot in collaboration with the IDB webinar. We are going to present different opportunities of pilots and testing of Israeli technologies in Latin America with the partnership of the Inter-American Development Bank. I will now present the agenda of the event, and after that, we are going to start properly the webinar. So now, at the beginning of the event, we will have Dr. Ami Applebaum, the chairman of the Israel Innovation Authority, that he is going to bring opening remarks. The chief of the Water and Sanitation Division of the Inter-American Development Bank, Mr. Sergio Campos, is going also to give an overall of the water challenges in the Latin America and the Caribbean. And the Minister of Economic and Trade Affairs at the Israeli Embassy in Washington, D.C., Mrs. Ifat Alon Perel, will also give her opening remarks. After that, I'm going to explain about the process of application and submission of proposals at the Israel Innovation Authority. And we will have the presentation of Mrs. Hila Cohen-Mizrav about the partnership and opportunities of this program done by the Inter-American Development Bank in partnership with the Israel Innovation Authority and the Foreign Trade Administration. And at the end, we will have a success story by an Israeli company that participated in the last call for proposals, and they are going to explain how it was for them. And the end, we will have some time for question and answers by the participants. So I would like to present and inviting Dr. Ami Applebaum, the chairman of the Israel Innovation Authority and the chief scientist and the Ministry of Economy and Industry, to give some opening remarks.
Thank you, Alan. What an exciting moment. That we all together, although through a Zoom, but still we can talk with each other. And what an exciting moment for collaboration between the Israel Innovation Authority and the International Collaboration Division of the Developing Market Desk at the Israel Innovation, Avi Lufton and Alan and Marina, and on the Foreign Trade Administration of Ministry of Economy, Ifat, Alon Perel. Thank you all for being here and for working so hard to get into this moment. Also, I want to thank Mr. Sergio Campos, the Chief of Water and the Sanitation Division. The cooperation between Israel Innovation Authority and the IDB in Latin America country is very significant. It's enabled the opportunity for Israel companies to execute and to proliferate the technology, the very advanced technology in water treatment in many different areas and different applications for water recycling and the other element of water conservation. And on the Latin America side, to benefit from those technology and try to implement those advanced technology for the benefits of the country's economy on one end and the overall environment on the other end. I think that the global pandemic that we has been experiencing is really rising and disrupting the economy, and the economy is kind of converging within itself. But what we learn through the process, that innovation and new technology is one of the better elements or better opportunities to go out of those crises. And the crisis did not leave any country without impact. And I think that the fact that we continue the process and we don't stop, but rather trying to get out of this pandemic and jointly together, us, IDB, Israel Innovation Authority, IDB, and the countries in Latin America to put more technology, new innovation is a best opportunity to go out and come out of this crisis. I hope that the second call for proposal will be even more successful than the first call, that we have a great success with company that got the approval. And in the second call, I really hope to have more companies and broader distribution in Latin America. So I want to thank you everyone and have a productive webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ami Applebaum, for your opening remarks. I would like to invite Mr. Sergio Campos, the Chief of the Water and Sanitation Division at the Inter-American Development Bank, to present the main water challenges in the Latin America and the Caribbean.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Shalom. It's a pleasure to be here. First of all, I want to thank all the participating companies interested in these important challenges. I want to thank also the Ministry of Economy, the Innovation Authority. Thank you very much, Dr. Ami Applebaum, as well as our counterparts in Washington, Ifad Alon Perel and Adif Halibaba for their continued support. For those who do not know the Inter-American Development Bank, we are like the World Bank, but with regional focus only in Latin America. We are the bank that have the strongest presence and the largest resources for water and sanitation in the region. We run a portfolio of approximately $8 billion. And what I'm going to present are the different challenges that for me are opportunities for Israeli companies to help us bridge the gap to efficiency and equality and access to water and sanitation. Let me share the presentation. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, super, thank you very much. Let me start by saying that water security is critical for the Latin American economy. The Latin American economy or the region has 1/3 of the freshwater resources in the whole world, and we only have 1/8 of the population. Most of our agriculture, exports of flowers, even mining depends on abundant and reliable sources of water. And 70% of our agriculture, of our energy depends on energy. Just with those two numbers, you can see how important water is for Latin America. Yet 80% of our agriculture is rain-fed. We don't have technology irrigation. And then fortunately for Latin America, the situation over 100 years projected by reliable sources won't change very much. As you can see, when you compare Latin America being the darkest part, the most stressed areas of water stress in the future, for Latin America, the change is not going to come through the lack of water. Latin America will continue having water. The biggest threats for Latin America are droughts, like the one that we see every day, that are more intense or more frequent, and floods, like the one that we see. This is a picture of La Plata in Argentina 4 years ago. That's what it's going to affect our water resources. As we have learned from Israel, water scarcity should not equate to water scarcity. And torrential rainfall should not equate to flooding. We need to better manage our water resources. And this situation, like flooding in cities, is going to, over the last 2 years, more than a dozen cities have been affected by droughts and floods. And the situation is going to worse. According to our estimates, in Latin America, there are more than 140 cities that are growing at rates 2 or 3 times higher than the mega cities. So this situation of having floods and droughts in cities is going to increase, and it's going to affect the well-being of our population. Therefore, one of the biggest challenges that Latin America has is understanding and learning better the intricacies between food, water, and the energy nexus. No? We were very impressed in Israel when we saw how water desal was used for agriculture. Agriculture was done also in a mixed combination of water for human consumption, for agriculture, and even for energy. We hope that in Latin America we can move towards that line. And when we talk about water for human consumption, indeed in Latin America over the last 20 years we've made great progress, but that progress is insufficient. Because when we measure progress according to the SDG 6, which basically is universal coverage, what we can see is that more than 200 million people in Latin America don't have access to safe drinking water. That's 1/3 of the Latin American population. And when we look at safely managed sludge management, sanitation, more than 400 million people, that almost 2/3 of Latin America, don't have adequate sludge management. And today, 19 million people still practice open defecation. So that's where the challenge is. That's where some of the opportunities are. Only 18% of the wastewater is treated, while most developed countries treat 60% of the wastewater. We know that in Israel, you treat 99% of the wastewater. When we look at the rural sector and the urban sector, the rural sector is 20 years, 25 years behind the rural sector. The coverage that we have for the rural sector were similar 25 years ago to the urban one. And then the problem is that we have not invested a lot in water and sanitation infrastructure. We've invested 0.34% of the GDP in water and sanitation. That's probably why our unaccounted for water, the water losses that we have in our network are on average 40, but in reality, they are closer to 50%. If those two girls are getting water from a river, they're considered to have access to water and sanitation. And if they are using these latrines, are considered to have access to sanitation. So the second challenge that we have in Latin America is to improve the quality of service. People have access to water and sanitation, but the quality of the service is of not a good standard. We know that the problem is not only infrastructure. We know that our problems are not only in the cities. We know that we need to strengthen our institution, improve our legal framework, and also train our people, as well as financing the infrastructure that is required. There's an important opportunity in embracing a circular economy model. We only treat 18% of the wastewater we generate. That's a great opportunity to use that untreated water for agriculture or for other resources. Because even though we have plenty of water in Latin America, almost 35% of Latin American territory is water stressed, like the northern part of Mexico, the coastal area of Peru, and the northern part of Chile, the northeast of Brazil and Argentina. Very water stressed areas. And the wastewater we're generating, we're not reusing it. Also, Latin America has plenty of green infrastructure, water plains, rivers, creeks. We should move towards a more, not only focus on gray infrastructure, but combine it with green, but not do the shift completely to the green infrastructure, but just find a good combination between good and gray infrastructure. No? And then so those are the challenges, no? I mean, better understanding of the food, water, and energy nexus for the watershed management, unaccounted for water, efficiency of public utilities, access to water and sanitation, including reuse, improve our technologies, improve the financing of our sector. But what does where's the place for innovation? What we've talked is translated in images like this. People, mostly women, in lines to get access to safe water for human consumption. Engineers and sector specialists trying to bring sanitation to images or neighborhoods like this one. we need to start thinking differently. We need to start thinking out of the box. Conventional and traditional solutions will not be able to address the needs of everyone. If we want to reach the SDG 6, is water and sanitation for all, we need to innovate. We need to create different solutions for the realities in which we're living. And it's not only the people that is affected, it's the environment that is affected. Those two pictures that I mentioned can probably be seen in almost every single city in Latin America in the peri-urban area. If we continue doing business as usual, we're gonna reach the Sustainable Development Goals in 100 years, according to our projections, and the Millennium Development Goals that were supposed to be reached in 2015 in 10 years or 11 years. And the amount of resources are 15 billion per year, only for sanitation. Today, Latin America is investing only 5 to 8 billion per year. So we need to more than double our investment. And for us, innovation, it's a way to do things better, more efficiently, less costly, and faster. So if we're serious in addressing the sustainable development goals, we need to embrace innovation. And that's why innovation for us is a key priority. And then we treasure the partnership that we started with the government of Israel and with the the Israeli Innovation Authority starting last year. We know that water and sanitation is key for health, for education, for gender, and for poverty. If we don't have access to safe water and sanitation, we won't be able to have healthy people. People will not be going to be able to be educated because they won't have the capacity to learn. They're going to get sick. Access to water and sanitation is provided mostly by women in Latin America. If we are serious in gender equality, we need to improve access to water and sanitation. And if you don't have water and sanitation, you're most likely poor. So if we're serious also in addressing the sustainable development goals, water is important. And if we don't innovate in water, we won't get there in time. So that's what I wanted to share. Those are the challenges that we face that are challenges, but in reality are opportunities for innovation and for innovating ideas from Israel that can be translated and shared with Latin America. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sergio Campos. I would like to invite the Minister of Economy and Trade Affairs at the Israeli Embassy in Washington, D.C., Mrs. Ifat Alon-Perel.
Thank you, Alan. Good morning from Washington. Thank you to you and to all our friends in the Innovation Authority, Dr. Rami Appelbaum and the rest of the team, and of course in the IDB, to Mr. Sergio Campos and Ms. Hila Cohen-Mizrav. Pleasure working with all of you, and I'm very happy for this opportunity. My name is Ifat Alon-Perel. I'm heading the Trade and Economic Mission here in the Embassy of Israel in Washington, D.C., and I'm representing the Ministry of Economy in the embassy. So as I think that you already understood from the introductions until now, the Ministry of Economy is working very closely with the IDB for some time now. And this fund that we're talking about, its pilots today, is the second fund that the Ministry of Economy is operating in the bank, and the first one in water technology. We are very happy and we feel very privileged that the IDB has also acknowledged the value of that participation, of working with us, with Israel. We see in the Ministry of Economy via the Foreign Trade Administration that is operating offices, commercial offices all around the world, and definitely in the LAC region in Latin America and the Caribbean. We see the partnership with the IDB as a very important one. I think you already could understand from what Sergio presented that the IDB has feet on the ground, is very well familiar with the challenges with all the different actors. And for us, it was only natural that if we wanted to expose the region to Israeli innovative technological solutions, to real, as presented by Sergio, real acute, some of them acute challenges, that it would be just such an easy match to do it with the IDB, so that this exposure could really reach its audience. Hopefully the pilots that we've already started and already some Israeli companies have won the possibility to hold pilots within these water utilities. Hopefully these pilots would only be the beginning of the journey. For you, the Israeli companies, it's an opportunity to validate your technology, to meet different actors, to understand the culture of working. And of course, for these utilities, hopefully it would be an exposure of great solutions to real problems and challenges. What we will be aiming for is for real bigger projects to be operating, and hopefully you guys will be able to participate in them. I would very much like to encourage you to see us in the Israeli embassy, myself and Adi Khaliva, who works with me, as resources for you with regard to anything that has to do with the international finance institutions that are located in Washington, DC, the IDB and the World Bank. We are here for that purpose, among others, and we want to do our best to assist you in getting closer to these markets, working with these institutions. So I hope, I wish us all, I'm sure, that we're going to have a wonderful webinar, a very interesting one, and thank you again to all our collaborators.
Thank you very much, Ifat. So now I'm going to share with you, participants, the main advices and topics that they are regarding the submission and the process of submission and how it works, what is the criteria, and how works the process. And after me will Ila explain more about this process by the IDB, the Inter-American Development Bank side. So let's start. So first of all, you Israeli national companies need to be or need to have a technological adaptation of the proposed solution to the corporate challenge requirement, which means that you have a technology, a product that can be adapted to the needs of one of the corporates. As you saw in our website, in the call for proposal website, you will see the 5 different challenges, and we would like to see there is a matching between the technology and the need. Applicability and technological feasibility of the proposed solution, which means that you need to show us also that the feasibility of the product that you want to propose for the pilot. The quality of the solution offered in relation to competitors in the market, which means not only to the companies that they are proposing a solution, so also what is in the market. So we want to see like good proposals, good solutions with a great added value in the market. The company's proven management, financial and technological capabilities to execute the project. This is also important. Besides that, you are going to receive funding for the overall cost of the pilot. You need to show that you as a company are like a very well managed company and financially and technological capable to execute this kind of project. The maturity of the product, it's also very important for the approval of this proposal. The company's ability to realize the project could be in an operational way, could be also in a financial way, in a management way, but we need to see that the company it's available to finalize the project that they want to pursue and to launch together with one of the corporations in Latin America and the Caribbean. And previous experience of similar collaborations such as projects in emerging markets, especially in Latin America and the Caribbean, are an advantage in this collaboration. So we also have a future commercial potential and ability to pursue larger projects. It's also very important. We are not only focusing in the pilot stage, also in the further full-scale project stage. It's very important to us, especially for the Inter-American Development Bank, to see that the Israeli company is available to pursue this kind of projects. So the funding, how it works, the projects also will be funded by Inter-American Development Bank, and the selected applicants can receive up to a maximum of $100,000 from the IDB to support all project costs. And the application process is very easy. Okay, so the submission is until the 24th of January, 12 noon Israel time. It's very important you to submit before this date. After this date, we are not allowed to receive any proposal. So pay attention to this date. Second, you need to submit in our website as all our programs, the Israeli National Authority in Hebrew, only to the Israeli National Authority, the application, but all the forms that you're going to fill need to be in English. Okay, that's very important for us because not only an Israeli evaluator is going to check your proposal, also an evaluator from the Inter-American Development Bank is going to check the proposal. So for us, it's very important you to submit it in English. When you submit it and you enter to the system, you need to sign up as a project that is under the bilateral funds. Okay, you know, it's the Maslul Kranot Du-Leumiyot, and the title is the IDB program. And so you need to attach to your proposal the EOI, the Express of Interest form, that is also in our website, again in English, a regular budget in Excel in dollars. You need to submit it. There is no model, there is no template. You need to submit it, a regular one with all the aspects and topics of your project in dollars. Tofis Itakdut, as you know, is the certificate of being a registered Israeli company. That is also very important to submit. And the IDB requirements, and you can see it attached in our website. After submitting the funding application, it's also very important you to send an email to the emerging market desk with the number that you receive or your company number, so we can also track your submission. So for any further question or assistance that you need regarding the application submission or other inquiries, please contact the emerging market desk. We're going to answer you. It will be me or Marina that we work together in this program. And this is the email. The email is em@innovationisrael.org.il. Please send us an email. If you have any further question, we are here to assist you. And I'm finishing my presentation, and I would like to invite Mrs. Ila Cohen Mizrav to share the Inter-American Development Bank side of this partnership. Ila.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Pleasure being with you all. Just wanted to reiterate, our thanks for this great collaboration between the IDB and the Ministry of Economy and Innovation Authority. It's been great and looking forward to more successful collaboration. Okay, so just in general, my name is Ila Cohen Mizrav. I work in the Inter-American Development Bank in the Water and Sanitation Division. I'm the focal point for the Israel IDB Water Innovation Program. Alan, I don't know if we can put on the presentation. Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna give you an overview of the program, and then we're gonna dive into the pilot specifically. So this program started over a year ago with the objective of helping the IDB clients to improve their knowledge and capacity through innovative technology in water management, to address all the challenges, that Sergio presented just a couple of minutes ago. In terms of the scope, we're looking at smart water infrastructure, what we call SWEET, water reuse, desalination, and looking at policy side, so sector policy reform as well. In terms of activities, the heart of our program is focused on the innovative pilots. So, you know, as part of our collaboration with the Innovation Authority that you are a part of, but also knowledge generation, institutional policy, capacity building, training, and so forth. Can move forward. Okay, just in terms of the pilots, so overall we're aiming to around 13 pilots with 10 different countries. At this point, you know, we don't want to commit to specific number of specific sub-themes, as you can see here, but overall looking at all of these and implementing all of these. So we can move forward. Okay. So last year we had another open call with the Innovation Authority, which actually the two second ones are the part of it. So Utilis in Paraguay, Brazil, and I know that Rakefet is here to present the Utilis side. You'll hear from her later, and Takadu in Lima. And we have another pending contract in Monterrey on leak detection as well. Okay, just wanting to explain a little bit of what is this process that we're doing together. So we call it the new project cycle. So basically the IDB launched in the summer an open call, which basically we were looking at the demand. What kind of challenges exist in the region? And we actually asked water utilities, come and apply. You have a problem, tell us what's your problem, and we're gonna find a solution, okay? That was through a platform that was called Ideas in Actions. And we received around 32 challenges, which from them we picked the 5 that are now uploaded in the Innovation Authority's open call. So now we selected them, the selection of the challenges, and then the Innovation Authority, as you are all aware of, published the open call. We're going to go through a little bit later on in depth of what is going to be the process, but basically, as Alan mentioned, the contract is going to be between the company that will be chosen in this process and IDB, where our client, the water utilities, are you know, the counterpart, right? So it's like a triangle of IDB, the technology company, and the water utility. And yeah, the implementation is all those parties that I mentioned. Okay, so as you saw, we've got 5 open call in this, five challenges, sorry, in this open call. I'm not actually going to dive into each of them because they're available on the website. I'm just gonna generally mention that each one of them, I'm not here representing the utilities. I can't give you more info on the challenges, more info than you can have a look. But if you have specific technical question, not about the application, but rather about the more technical issues, or you have you need more information, and so you can reach me, and I can get the information from the water utility. Okay, so just generally the process, so you can have a little bit of a look at the timeline. So so in December we sent the 5 challenges to the Innovation Authority. In January, as you can, as you saw, the Innovation Authority published the open call. In February, March, we're hoping that we're gonna do all the matchmaking process. So let me explain a little bit about how this is gonna work. So basically, the Innovation Authority will give us a short list of companies that have a compatible solution to the challenge presented. Okay, usually the last time we got around 3 to 4 companies that have a suitable solution to a challenge. okay? In this matchmaking process, what is gonna happen is the IDB, the 3 to 4, let's say, shortlisted companies plus the relevant utilities, we're gonna do a matchmaking session where the technology company will have the opportunity to present to the utility, okay? We're hoping to do it as quickly as possible. Hopefully we'll finish it by February, but just for you to understand that this will allow the IDB and the water utility to choose which of the shortlisted company is going to be selected. Around March and April, a decision on the technology company finalists, and I'm giving a little bit of let's say time cushions here, because sometimes the utility could take a little bit longer to make a decision. Sometimes they need more information. Sometimes we'll need a little bit more, even a second round of meetings. It really all depends on our counterparts. And hopefully by April, we're gonna go to the contract phase and start the pilot. So as I mentioned, the matchmaking process with the shortlisted company, I mentioned before. So a little bit of the, let's call it the technical side from the IDB. And if somebody have more questions, I'm happy to answer. But basically, as we mentioned, the contract is gonna be with IDB. So once we got to a decision, which of the shortlisted company is gonna be chosen, basically the IDB will send a request for proposal for the company, including the terms of reference that the water utility has approved. And this process could take a few weeks, again, depending on the utility's response, but sometimes, you know, around tech, you know, we're also a bureaucracy. We're trying to make it as fast as we can. So it really depends on you know, if we have any ongoing legal issues or procurement issues, but usually it's pretty straightforward, and we try to make it as easy for everyone. Okay, this is maybe an important point for companies that are listening. The contract that you're gonna sign, the selected company is gonna sign, is a consultancy services contract, okay? So even though it's a technology, it's gonna be a consultancy services contract. And also if there's a company that is present that wants to see the contract, we're happy to share it, okay? So you can contact me directly, and I'm very happy to give you the opportunity to have a look at the contract prior to any matchmaking event. Okay, and the work, as I mentioned, the work is with the utility and IDB. So this is it from my end, but I'm super happy to answer any questions. I wanted to thank again all the teams and to say thank you for this to Alan and Marina, for I know you've been working really hard. So thank you and looking forward.
Thank you very much, Ila, for presentation. I hope it was useful for all the participants. If you have any further question, you have all my details and Ila details in the website, in our webpage. And now we are going to have a success story of a company that participated in the last call for proposals, and they get the approval. And I would like to invite Rakefet from Utilities to share her experience and experience of Utilities. Please.
Hi, Ellen. Thank you for the invitation. And hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all. So I'm Rakefet. I'm the sales manager in Latin America for Utilities. Utilities is a startup company. We're already 5 years in the market. And our solution is leak detection through satellite images. We are working several years already in Latin America, and we have worked with the IDB in the past, even with different division of the IDB. And last year, as mentioned, we won a contract in this open call of the Innovation Authority to a project in Brazil. In general, I think there's a lot of advantages in doing these projects together with the IDB, especially in Latin America. I won't focus a lot about the process until you are chosen. Ila spoke about it just a few minutes ago, but I will say that it might sound complicated now, but actually doing project with the IDB is relatively fast. Even last year with the Corona and we had months of quarantine, in 6 months we were able to sign the contract and execute the project. So I think the fact that organizations such as the IDB and the Innovation Authority can actually not only guarantee that the projects will actually happen, but also happens in a relatively fast time, which is a great advantage. Second advantage is that the fact that the projects are being funded and are being monitored by the Innovation Authority and the IDB increase the engagement of the customer to the pilots. I don't know how much experience you have with water companies in Latin America or in the world in general, but we're talking about public organization, most of the time a large organization. So processes are very slow. You are stuck with bureaucracy, and then someone switch position and you need to start everything all over again. And having these projects with these organizations involved, such again as the IDB and the Innovation Authority, actually guarantee that the project will be executed from A to Z. And so it means not only win the project and start the project, but also that the project will be finished. And also one of the terms of working in this open call is that the customer must present the results and the report of the results. So not only they need to finish, they actually need to be on top of it all the time and make sure it worked and it worth the money. And so I think it's great for you, even especially if you're trying to get into new territories. So we want the project in Brazil. Brazil is a very difficult market in general and for utilities as well. So we have a lot of hopes from this project, finally to get a project, again, being done from A to Z with an official results and conclusions that will allow us to hopefully have even more projects with this customer and other customers in Brazil, and eventually get the objective done, which is introduce new technologies to water companies that really needs it. As mentioned, the water situation in Latin America is crucial. And so this is a great opportunity for everyone. I wish everyone good luck. May the best man win. And that's it. If you have questions about the process, technical or post-winning, pre-winning, I'm here now, and you can contact my email afterwards. I would be happy to answer.
Thank you very much, Rakefet. I would like to give also the opportunity for all the participants to ask questions. You have here representatives from IDB, from the Israel Innovation Authority, from the embassy in Washington, in the mission, the economic mission in Washington, and also an like company that took part in this program and were approved. So if you have any further question, we are here. There is one question that was asked at the beginning that I don't know if we have the information here, but I will ask, what are the contamination in the water that we need to address? Maybe it's not a question, I think, that for this call for proposals, but if, I don't know, if Sergio has more information about the main challenges in Latin America about water contamination, will be also useful. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. What's important to say that it's case by case, and that's why we do pilots. However, for the most part, it's going to be domestic wastewater. For the most part, no, the pilots. However, there can be one or two pilot projects, one or two companies that would come and tell us, I have this industrial treatment, this industrial waste that I need to treat. Is there any particular innovation that can help me address this problem in a different way? But it would be on a case-by-case basis.
Great. Do we have any other question? I see there is no other question. So if you have any further question, you can reach us by email to me and to Ila and Marina. We have our emails and contact details in the website. I wanted to especially thank to all our partners, first the Inter-American Development Bank, to Sergio, a good partner of the Israeli National Authority in the State of Israel, to Ifat, and her team in Washington for helping us in all this process and doing a great job with all the international financing institutions. And to Ila, also a great colleague that is always available for Israeli companies and for the Israeli ecosystem. And also to Rakefet for taking part and giving her experience of how is like working and partnering with a huge institution like the Inter-American Development Bank, and to my colleague Marina for leading and helping to concrete this project and this collaboration. And we are always open for any further questions and assistance. Thank you very much. Shalom and good evening.